Alright, we're going to be looking at the properties of parallelograms. Okay, what a parallelogram is it's going to have both sides are going to be parallel to each other. So we're going to introduce a couple of theorems. The opposite sides theorem: if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then the opposite sides are congruent. So that means that they're going to have the same measure of lengths. And then theorem 7.4 is the opposite angles theorem. So the opposite angles across from each other are going to be congruent in a parallelogram. So we're going to use those properties to solve some problems. We want to find value of x and y. So we know that the side x plus 4 is equal to the side length 12, and we just want to solve that. So our value of x is 8, and because the opposite angles are congruent, y is going to equal 65. Problem number 1, we want to find the measure of angle G. So measure of angle G is going to be 60 degrees because we're using the opposite angles. Problem number 2, we're going to solve for x and y. Let's do the x's first. We know that 2x equals 50, so we're going to divide by 2, and we're going to get x equals 25. And then we know that the measure of the angles are the same, so our y plus, or measure of the opposite sides are the same. Y plus 3 is going to equal 18. Subtract 3, and our y is equal to 15. Okay, so now we have consecutive angles theorem. If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its consecutive angles are supplementary, meaning the ones that are the same. So on the same side, those are supplementary, meaning they'll add up to 180 degrees. They also have a parallelogram diagonals theorem, meaning that the diagonals from vertex to vertex will bisect each other and be equal lengths on either side. So, as shown in part extending the arm diagram's parallelogram, the angles of the parallelogram change on how the lamp is raised or lowered. So we want to find BCD, which is this angle, when we know that ADC is 110. So because they're supplementary, 180 minus 110 is equal to 70, and that is the measure of angle BCD. So we want to prove that angle B and angle F are congruent. So here's what we're going to have. We know that EDG is congruent to CDA, because of vertical angles. We then know that angle B is equal to angle F. It's congruent to angle F because of opposite angles in a parallelogram. Okay. I'm not going to change or do these. So let's say that, okay, we want to find 2x plus x is going to equal 180. 3x is equal to 180. This is for number 3 um, because they're supplementary. And finally we get x is equal to 60. So one angle is 60, BCD is 60, and ADC is 120. So all we're going to do here is we're going to take the opposite x values. So L and N, we're going to take the x values of 1 and 6 and add those together and divide by 2. And we're going to use the same y values, 4 plus 0, and divide by 2. And we're going to get 7, 3.5, and 2. And we're going to just check our work on the opposite angles. So we're going to go m is 7 plus 0 divided by 2, and 4 plus 0 divided by 2. And we get 3.5 and 2 as well. So the vertex, or the intersection of the bisectors, or the 3.5 and 2. So this is asking us to find out what, let me look and see there. Alright, so it's asking us to find the missing vertex of y, or vertex of y. So if I look on this part right here, I go down 1 and I go over 4. So if I do that same thing here, down 1 over 4, make that 5, and we're going to be right there for our missing vertex. Get it more on the point, down a little bit lower. So again, we want to find our intersection of our diagonals. So we're going to have negative 2 plus 6 divided by 2, and we're going to have 3 plus 3 divided by 2. And we're going to get 2 and 3. I want to do that just to make sure with my other pair. 1 plus 3 divided by 2, and 5 plus 1 divided by 2, and we get 2 and 3 again. So that point would be right there. Again, we want to find our point D. So to go from B to A, I will go over 3 and up 2. So I'm going to go over 3 and up 2. And our coordinates of that one is going to be 0 and 1 for D. Hello.